Well, the Fall Direct is now over. Just got done watching it, and I have to say, looking at it, I'm going to say a weird Direct. I guess that's the best way to kind of describe it very quickly. It wasn't any one big thing that's like mind-blowing. It was a lot of, I would say, smaller announcements that all came together and made what I think was a solid Direct. I don't think it was a mind-blowing one, and I wonder if it'll be even, I guess, a memorable one at this point. But I think it was a good Direct, just not like amazing or mind-blowing, and I don't think it was a bad Direct either. It's kind of like just in the middle. It's just, okay, yeah, that there were a bunch of games there, but nothing that I think got people's minds exploding over announcements. But I do want to talk about some of the strange announcements. There were some weird ones in here, but I figure we'll go ahead and take a quick look over them. If you want to get like a full rundown of everything, so I'm just gonna kind of go over some of my thoughts on the announcements. If you want to see like the full breakdown of everything, tomorrow Newswave is going to be quite a bit about this Direct as we kind of just go through every single thing that took place. But let's actually go over here. We do have an article written up here that was taken up by GameSpot. And they pretty much just did just a solid list of everything that we just saw. And I figure we'll quickly go over some of these, and I'll point out some of the really weird announcements that I noticed. Overwatch is coming to the Switch. Is that surprising to anyone at this point? Probably not. Mostly because it was leaked like 3 times. Even earlier today, Eurogamer and Kotaku seemed to take it upon themselves to then confirm it further. October 15th is... okay, I think that's right next to The Witcher, or the same day as The Witcher. It's right there. So that's an interesting one. I did notice, though, on the website, very quickly, Overwatch, I believe, is $40, but it's not going to have a physical cartridge. It appears that that's going to be one of those Wolfenstein Youngblood situations where it's just a code in the box. So I look at that and I ask, why didn't you just shadow drop it then? Why does it need that retail presence? I don't get it. I never understand those things, though. Why? You're just giving them a code. It's an empty box. All right, fine. Anyway, the big, I think one of the big reveals, and some people might disagree with this, but Super Nintendo games coming to the Switch. We had talked about it like crazy. I think it had to happen, and it is tomorrow, actually. So come back to the channel tomorrow because we'll check it out. I'll boot that app up for the first time in a while, and we'll check it out. I'm excited about the possibilities of the Super Nintendo games that they could pick, because they had some odd ones in there. Again, tomorrow we'll go over the full list, but they had like Demon's Crest and Stunt Racer effects, so okay, yeah, I mean, the online service needed something like this, and I'm glad to see that they went for it, and they did not change the price. The price is still the same, so that the application that has these retro games is becoming valuable at this point. I mean, they're dropping quite a few. So I think we're up to like almost 60 games, or maybe 60 games exactly, on the online service. That's a lot of games, even though they're older ones. For $20, that's pretty good. And they will have a Super Nintendo controller as we expected. Again, similar to the NES controllers, although they're just doing one. Remember last time they made you buy 2? This, however, does not appear to have railings to sit on the Switch unit, so maybe that's why, because I guess you wanted a pair for the Switch, but just one at $29.99. I think that's a fair price for the Super Nintendo controller that they're selling. Reminds me of the 8-bit Do controller, except this one's from Nintendo. So yeah, we'll check that out. Does have ZR and ZL at the top as well. So hey, maybe you can use it to play any other games that come out. Maybe we'll get another Mega Man X or something, and that would work well for that. The big thing at the end, and this was controversial, I think. Xenoblade Chronicles is getting like a remake/remaster for 2020. This is the one that came out on the Wii that had that whole GameStop controversy where they were opening, if you remember, they were opening the games and then putting them on the used wall so that they could so that they could sell them for more. And I think just in general, distribution and everything was all over the place back then. So I'm glad that they are doing this. However, I don't know if this is what I would have closed the Direct out as they closed the Direct out with their big announcement. Don't know if this would have been the best way to do it, but they went with it. And I'm interested to check it out again. I remember it was like 70 or 80 bucks at my local GameStop when this thing came out because it was only used at the time. Wow, go figure, GameStop. And I'm interested to check it out because I didn't really want to play it on the 3DS again, so yeah, I'll check it out. I think it was kind of an underwhelming way to end it. I would have preferred to see either their new IP. Some people have said Chronicles X they would have preferred. or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It was a weird way to close it out, but that's what they went with. I was kind of waiting for, like, the next thing. Like, okay, we're doing this, and then the next IP is in development, or the next Xenoblade, you know, something like that. Okay, we're just going with the remake. Luigi's Mansion 3 got a bit more information with 8 players called Scream Park. Sure. Super Kirby Clash is coming to the Switch today, and it's a free to start style game with in-game app purchases. So take that how you will. I'm gonna skip down here a little bit because some of this stuff's gonna be in Newswave tomorrow. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Banjo-Kazooie is out today. This is something that we had talked about the predictions. That is a good announcement. That makes sense to me. Why not? Most people have already bought the Fighters Pass, and it gets a bit more interesting from there. There's going to be more fighters. They're probably doing a whole nother pass, and I think that's just because they see the potential with Smash Bros. Ultimate to continue selling, and in order to keep selling it, well, you keep introducing new fighters from different games and series and everything, and it gets people on that side excited. I mean, Terry got announced here, and while it's not for everyone, especially I know, I trust me, I've seen it. The younger audience in the West, for example, don't really get why Terry's in the game, but there are quite a few people who know of Neo Geo or King of Fighters or any of that stuff, right? That side. So it's not surprising to see an SNK representative, but you don't have to worry about the last slot being filled with something else that you don't like, because they're probably going to have another at least 5, and they'll probably sell a whole other pass. So there we go. Moving on from there. They did introduce, this is funny, this is in, I believe, the stream afterwards, Sans is in as her new costume based on games like Pokemon, Undertale, Sans. Those are coming out today, 75 cents each, and what's really neat is Toby Fox also did a full song remixed for the game. So yes, Toby Fox got his creation from Undertale into Smash. He was super excited about this on Twitter. Very happy to see that. Awesome stuff there. I'm going to skip over Tokyo Mirage Sessions again. That'll be tomorrow. Deadly Premonition. This is weird. Okay, so this is one of the weird ones. Deadly Premonition got shadow dropped today. I have no idea why. but I guess there was a little more light shed on that when I first saw it, because oddly enough, Deadly Premonition 2 is coming in 2020. Again, Deadly Premonition 1 was a weird game. It was very polarizing when it came out. I think this was 2010. It was very polarizing on the 360 because some people absolutely loved the game, and then some people thought it was terrible. Like, it was like people were giving it 0s, people were giving it 10s. It was all over the place. But somehow a second one's happening, and I'm curious if that's just on the Switch or if that's on other platforms. I don't know, but a second one's coming. Weird announcement. Very weird. Moving through there, we did have Daemon X Machina is getting another demo. All right, sure. It is one of those demos that they are going to let you transfer your stuff into the full game. I like those demos. Makes sense to me for that. Get people a head start. It also gets people a chance to try the game who might not. We just saw it with Dragon Quest, right? It worked well there. By the way, Japan gets some really cool stuff, right? I'm going to break this up for a second here. Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 is going to the Switch in Japan. So far, it's not coming here. This was also announced in their Direct. I don't get it. That should be coming over here. Anyway. Yeah, Daemon X Machina. There should be... Demo's probably up now by the time we're watching this. So go check it out, see what they've improved and everything, and you could start the game actually early. Pokemon Sword and Shield was shown for, I think, far too long. I don't really know why that was. That and Animal Crossing, I think, really slowed the whole thing down, especially Animal Crossing. Most of what they showed in Animal Crossing, I thought we had already kind of seen in the Treehouse, but I guess they wanted to show it again when there's a bunch of people watching, so there you go. Animal Crossing and Pokemon Sword and Shield details. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I feel like we didn't have to see as much either because they're probably going to have another Direct just for Pokemon Sword and Shield before it comes out. There you go. They want to do it here too. This is one of the weirdest things, and I'm really happy because I love this game. That is Jedi Outcast. Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is coming to the Switch, also to the PS4, by the way. Of course, they didn't mention that here, but it's coming to the Switch and the PlayStation 4, September 24th. Jedi Academy, by the way, this was announced in tandem, but not on the Direct, is coming next year to the Switch and the PlayStation 4, so they're bringing both. What a weird announcement. Again, weird stuff here. Absolutely love it, by the way. Jedi Outcast is an outstanding game, and everyone should be playing it. But the 24th is, what, 20 days from now? I'm getting that right away. I own that game actually still boxed on the PC. And I absolutely love that game. This was a game I watched on G4 back in the day when they did Cinematech. One of the things they did was Kyle Katarn's training run where he meets Luke in the beginning, and it was really fun to watch that over and over again. So yes, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, everyone should pick it up. Awesome, awesome Star Wars game, and that'll kind of get you ready for Fallen Order when that comes out later on in the year, because it is based around the Jedi Knight series. Assassin's Creed, nothing surprising there. And then we had a large game montage that confused me further because for some reason Capcom is doing Devil May Cry 2. Why? How does that happen? How is it Devil May Cry 2 and not 3? What? I just don't... Maybe... I guess it's going to lead to 3? Like, eventually they'll do 3. Why is it 2? Someone needs to explain that to me. Okay. You know what? Overall, I look at the Direct, and I say it's a solid Direct, right? I know people aren't particularly overly excited about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition at the end, although people will look at that and say it's the best Xenoblade. People really like that one. I think some were looking for X, but keep in mind, Xenoblade Chronicles had its own issues at launch to pick it up and everything, and Nintendo going back to get a Wii game is kind of interesting because that means that they might be able to go get other Wii games. There were some other odd ones kind of left on the Last Story and Pandora's Tower and some others, but Xenoblade at least makes sense with Monolith Soft and everything getting larger, Nintendo pushing that series more and more, and it's out next year, so it's something else to look forward to there. But overall, a bunch of smaller announcements that I think added up to just a solid but weird Direct. The strangest thing about it, like the biggest thing for me is Jedi Outcast, I think. That's how you know. I'm looking back through here. That's how you know it was a weird thing. I guess Doom 64 as well. Touch on that tomorrow. But that's how you know it was a weird Direct. The big thing for me was the fact that Super Nintendo games are coming to the Switch and Jedi Outcast. I mean, I guess it was kind of a Direct for everyone because everyone I've talked to liked something different in the Direct. So, yes, pretty good Direct, I think. Just not great, not overwhelming, not mind-blowing. Just good. Thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think about the Direct, though, down below. I'm very curious. Make sure you guys like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if not. And I'll see you guys next time.